Awesome, we're live!
Okay.
Yay!
Ooh.
Woohoo! Awesome, thank you everyone who's coming. I think we'll introduce ourselves so we know who's talking and things like that. So, Belle, do you want to start?
Yeah, sure. Sorry. Hi, my name's Belle. I am from the Dominican Republic, and my YouTube channel is Belle Reads Book. Yeah.
Who's next on the line?
Dylan.
Hello, I am Dylan, and I'm from Dylan Books. And hello there.
All right, Emma.
Alright, hi, I'm Emma from Emma Books. Yeah.
With you. And then it's Lorna, then Michael.
Okay, hello. My name is Lorna. I'm from America. And, yeah.
Okay. Hey everybody, I'm Michael from Michael Book Lion, and I'm in America too, and my last name's not actually Book Lion. Oh, where did Dylan go?
Oh
Oh, Dylan!
He probably lost his Wi-Fi connection. That happens all the time.
no! I know. These things are always just meh.
Yeah. They'll come back.
Hello, I'm Katrina. You're on my channel. I'm in Australia. And yes, we're going to be talking about Ready Player One today. I'll be looking at the Q&A section occasionally at the YouTube comments, but we'll predominantly looking at the Q&A thing on the Google+. So there should be a link on the screen somewhere if you want to click that, and you can send us questions and discussion topic, thoughts, comments, anything. Yeah, so there's that. Got a few people. Hello, everyone that's already here.
Hi.
Hey, guys.
You.
Hi.
All right, I think when Dylan comes back, he can hop on in. But I think we'll start with like what we generally thought about the book, like a star rating and things like that. And we'll keep this first part spoiler free. So if anyone hasn't read the book, you're safe to watch this for now. But eventually we will get in the spoiler section. But we'll start out talking about just general things we liked or whatever about the book. Yeah, Belle, did you want to start?
You start, please.
Yeah, yeah, overall, I gave Ready Player One. Sorry, excuse me. I gave Ready Player One 5 out of 5 stars. I freaking loved it. I thought it was really, really good and got pretty freaking intense at the end. I found that some parts of it got a little bit slow. Like at the beginning, it was a little like it wasn't really bad, but it was just like a little slow getting into like. At the start, and then I think the start of level 2, but overall it always ended up picking up and got just really exciting, so I loved it.
Okay. I give the book 4 out of 5 stars, or 3.5 because I like it. And I love the quest part and everything, but I didn't like connect really with the characters, except with Data and Shadow. I love them. They were like my favorites.
Yeah.
And
Awesome, Ms.
Do you want me to
Dylan.
go in place of Dylan?
Yeah,
Okay,
we'll go.
I gave Ready Player One 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. I completely agree that the beginning was very slow. Like, the first 30 pages, I was just like, oh god, please don't let this entire book be like this.
Yeah.
I originally thought it was at something different, and then I read the back, and I got slightly less interested in it, but I could not put the book down at all. Like, I was reading it every single chance I got. Yeah, I absolutely loved it.
Okay, so I gave the book 4 out of 5, and yeah, it started off slow, but I think it was well written. It gave you everything you needed to know before it got into all the action and everything like that. And then everything it was just really good. Like the plot, the twist, everything really made it a worth read book. So I gave it 4 out of 5.
I think I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars, but I don't remember if I rounded up or down. Thanks, Goodreads. I wish I had been a gamer more, and I had been born in the '80s, so I like got all the '80s references and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, aside from the fact that I couldn't completely connect with it on that level, I really, really like the book.
Awesome.
Dylan.
Yes.
Sounds
You're back.
bad.
Sure.
Mine is technical difficulties. I can't see any of you. I don't really know what's happening.
Oh no.
We can see you.
Yeah.
But I can hear you. That's what
Okay.
matters. I can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're just doing like a general overview of what we thought about the book and like a star rating.
Okay. Cool.
It's on you.
Wait, me? Oh, I really liked it. I thought it was really, really good. It was better than I was expecting because I knew I wasn't going to get any of the references, but it was still good, even though I didn't get any of it. And I gave it 5 stars because it was great.
Awesome.
Katriana? Oh wait, you already went.
Yes, I did. Awesome, yeah. So I'll just touch on that point as well because I didn't mention that references. I didn't get some of them as well. There were some that I did get, and I really liked the ones that I did understand, but there were some that I didn't think it took away from my reading at all. Like, yeah, it didn't really like confuse me per se, but yeah, it probably would have been more exciting, I guess, if I got them all. But
Yeah.
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 I mean, like, I got some of the movie references and things like that, but did anyone, like, look up the songs after they were mentioned or something? Like, know what they got, like?
No, I never did.
The first song they mentioned, I looked that up, and I was like, wow, really? Like, I got the but I was just like, I never would have said that's, like, 80s, like, you know?
Yeah, still, I was planning to go through and, like, look up all the references and try and understand things, but I just got, like, too invested in the story. I didn't want to put it down and then look things up and kind of just separate myself from the book like that.
Now that we're actually talking about it, I might go back and just do that.
Yeah.
Just look again and look up all the references.
Yeah. At least some of them. It made me really want to play some of the games, though, that they mentioned.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was never a gamer personally, but I used to play like a role-playing game like online, so like I understood like the whole like world of it, but like I was never like an intense gamer, so I didn't have any idea what the games they were talking about. But like it makes me want to be more of a gamer.
Yeah.
Now what I thought was
That was the same with me.
What I thought was interesting about the whole gamer thing that they plugged into it, like the whole, you know, Oasis thing like that. Like, there's a game out that's like Second Life, and they use something called an Oculus or whatever. And I was like, did they get that from that? But no. Like, it was kind of like weird.
Yeah. Did anyone else like play any similar games or something like?
Well,
Was
I
it
think
Pardon?
all of us have played Pac-Man. Like, yeah, Pac-Man. Every one of us have played.
Pac-Man, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
but also like I mean more like the kind of
Role-play?
similar to Oasis because I know that when I first started reading it and he was kind of describing the Oasis, someone actually mentioned this in the discussion comments as well, but it reminded them of RuneScape. And
Yes, that's the game I used to play. I was obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I was remembering it the entire time while I was reading. I was just like, oh my god,
but just not
so
like
good.
the 3D version, but
No, that's exactly what it reminded me of. That's where like I like a lot of the just the references to like just gaming in general. Like it totally reminded me of RuneScape.
yeah.
It reminded me of this game called The Sims. I don't know if you guys heard of it.
Yeah,
Have
The Sims.
you? Okay.
You get to create avatars and stuff. So like yeah, it's definitely similar to The Sims.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the last game that I played where I created an avatar for myself was probably, like, the Wii, where you have to create, like, the tiny person. So it's not, like, a direct comparison, but that's what I have to say.
Yeah. I think I've stopped dying. Alright, I think we're probably going to start going into some spoilery things when we're answering questions and talking about any specific points. So if anyone that's watching hasn't read the book and you don't want to be spoiled, I'd probably advise leaving now. But if not, then feel free to stay.
Bye. Sounds really cool.
Bye-bye. I think this is an interesting one because I know. Oh, wait, the question just moved. Okay, this one. Because I know that some people did mention this as well in the discussions. Any part of the book where they were confused whether it was in the game or real life? Belle?
Yes, I actually was. When he was like, oh, I order meal and exercise and things like that. I was like, is that in real life or is that in the game? And I was a little bit confused by that.
Right. There was a point where, like, not too far after what Belle just brought up, where he was taken to, like, prison with the IOIs or whatever, and I was just like, wait. When did the IOI become, like, you know, official law enforcement? I'm like, hold on. If there's a real president, there should be real law enforcement, and these people should be able to kidnap him like they're trying to. Like, but I don't know.
Okay, I personally wasn't confused at all in it. I was so invested in like the different worlds that he created because he had to create the kind of like dystopian world that he actually lived in, and then the entire Oasis. So I was just very interested in that. So I personally didn't get confused, but I can totally see how somebody would get confused with that. And I think that was kind of a point that Ernest Cline made, was to like make you try and distinguish between the two of them.
Mm. No, I was the same as
Yeah,
well.
I agree.
Sorry, you go.
I go?
It's actually the first time reading like a dystopian type book. Like I've never read anything like this book before.
Exactly, me neither.
Yeah, for the most part, I could quite easily tell which one we were in, just because I loved the Oasis so much. And when we weren't in that, I was like, can we go back there?
Yeah.
Because it was so much more interesting.
Yeah. No, I'm the same as well. Like, I didn't find myself confused, but like Emma said, I can understand why people, like, how you could get confused, like, just because it's so closely linked and it's talking about, like in the Oasis, you can do a lot of things that you can do in real life, sort of thing. But I think at one point where I was wondering if, like, when he was taken by the IOI, I was wondering if he'd have access to the Oasis in there, and I was wondering how that was going to work, but he didn't. So I was like,
yeah, they explained that pretty well.
Yeah.
One of the questions on the side, I don't know if I could bring this up, but one of the questions is like about the movie that they're going to make, and they're asking who would you cast in a movie to make it a great movie as far as characters from the book.
Wait, is it actually going to be a movie?
Yeah.
I missed out on
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's a really hard question too, because he undergoes like such a transformation over the novel from like
he's
like
fat and then
awkward pudgy kid to like just hairless.
Yeah.
Like, fit kid,
That part definitely freaked me out. I don't. That hair
no
was
eyebrows or no eyelashes. That's kind of. I can't really think of that very well,
I
but,
looked at it, I was just like, what? It's so cool.
Yeah.
Hold on, my lighting's annoying me. Let me just turn on the light.
Dylan disappeared again.
Well, Dylan, our internet in Australia is awful. Like, when I was over in America, I was at someone's house and using the internet, and I could upload... Whoa. Sorry, that's my alarm. I usually wake up at this time. Yeah, I was at a friend's house and, like, uploading, like, a 5-minute video, and it, like, took, like, a tenth of the amount of time to upload and process everything. I was like,
Wait, so it's definitely being made into a movie, or is this just speculation? Did I miss out on something?
I think they're definitely making it into a movie. I think they are.
I was actually thinking about it earlier. It was just like somebody's definitely going to bring up the fact that it should be made into a movie, but I had no idea. That's awesome.
I think
the person who did, I forget, he did another book, movie adaptation type thing before, so I forget what book he did before, but he did a good job, so.
I definitely think it'll make a good movie, though.
yeah, it's
I think it'll be so exciting. Oh.
It is literally. You learn something new every day. No idea.
I'm just Googling it. I said a writer for the Avengers is taking on Ready Player One.
Yeah, the guy who did the Avengers.
That's so
awesome.
cool.
Oh.
That would be so awesome. I haven't seen it.
Wait, but question though, when they do like the inside of the Oasis, did you guys picture it as like just real in the Oasis? Just like
Yeah.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
Because yeah, at some points he was talking about how like the way it was coded and the graphics or whatever looked so realistic anyway. Like some worlds weren't quite as real to life, but some of them were. So I just pictured it quite like I didn't picture his avatar completely like human. Like I imagined it would look sort of like a graphic, but like a computer generated avatar. But the rest of it I did picture as real life.
Sometimes I actually kind of envisioned it like from like a first-person perspective because I know that with like a lot of different games, and I think from his perspective because he has like I don't know if they were the actual like goggles or whatever, but he would probably be seeing it sometimes like if he was actually there when he could touch it and stuff. So like that's kind of how I imagined it sometimes as opposed to like watching his avatar walk around. But
I think. Yeah, I think that probably was because I'm not sure. I might be making this up, but I think at some point he mentioned how you could like switch, like he switched to third player, so you could see his new armor and stuff. So I'm assuming that for the most part it was like looking at it through first person view.
Yeah, usually with like RPG games you can like switch the perspective that you're looking at. So like sometimes like when he was running, like say like just an example, like I would imagine him like actually like his avatar running, but like if he was doing something, I would imagine him like myself seeing it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I did a bit of both.
So back to like 80s references, I was like so hurt because a lot of references were missing, and I'm like, wait, when I think about the 80s, I'm thinking like Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Mike Tyson, like where's all the like legends of the 80s? I'm hearing about Boingo Boingo, and I'm like, who is this? Like,
yeah. I probably would have gotten the references if they did mention
Yeah,
them.
like the big ones, but I guess because the creator, I don't even remember his name actually.
Halliday.
Halliday, yes. Halliday was like the way they described him was he was always like he like played Dungeons and Dragons as a kid. Like he was like kind of in like the gaming world. So that's why I feel like a lot of the references like weren't like the big popular mainstream ones that everyone was obsessed with. So I guess that's why they included it that way. But no, I totally would have gotten more if they were just like the basic ones that you think of when you think of the 80s.
Right. In the book, did they ever really say how Halliday died? Because that was kind of a mystery throughout the book to me, kind of. To me, it was just like one day they found him just dead or something like that.
They said he was sick.
Did they say it in the preface?
Yeah, I think. No, I think when Off talked about when he went to visit him, he says he was sick. Like,
Oh yeah, he was sick. He was
he
sick.
was dying.
Yeah, he was saying that he didn't know until Halliday reached out to Og and said that he was sick and stuff like that, and then he talked about everything. But I don't think it didn't specify exactly what it was, but I think it was just like generally he was sick, I think, or something like that. Because I don't remember.
Did anyone think like after he got the third key and like Halliday popped up in that game, like Halliday maybe he was still alive or something, or was that the only one who took for a second there?
I was expecting him to be alive, like, for the majority of it. I was just like, I don't know. I kind of expected him to be alive, but it's also kind of satisfying that he's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I was just thinking because he, like, went through such a process to make this crazy, like, event and game, and then he, like, didn't get to watch everyone play it, so I feel like he missed out on that part.
One of the users asked, what would your Oasis name be?
That's a difficult one.
Well, that's the thing. Like usually when I just like stick to like my name.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I mean like when it first started, that would have been like the case. Like, but then there was a whole issue. Like everyone later on, like the privacy thing. So then I changed it. I don't know what I'd change it to.
Who was your favorite character?
Beta and Shadow. I love them.
Yeah.
I really, really liked H. Helen Harris. Amazing.
I think I loved, yeah.
Oh my god, that whole plot twist with H.
Oh yeah.
I didn't see it coming at all, but I loved it.
I didn't see it coming either. When H was saying, you know, I'm not what I look like as an avatar, I'm thinking I was some old guy, probably like, or something. But then it was like H, and I was like, wow.
Yeah. No, it was the same.
I think my favorite was Og, just because he was like a wacky old man. He just like popped popped up whenever they needed help, and I was like, this guy's cool. And when he was doing the interview with like the people, he was like insulting the people to their faces. I was like,
Awesome. I
Yeah.
love that part. I loved how he was being super sneaky. He was hiding in the H's chat room, and like I know that a lot of people felt the same way as well. Like, especially when he'd accidentally knocked over one of the magazines or something like that, and a lot of people put suspicion on H or Artemis, like possibly going to betray him. Like, I don't know, they were being a bit shady or something. I didn't even like think that it would have been an outside source like Og.
I knew it was obviously something important that was going to happen. Like, it was going to obviously play a part in the future, but I had no idea that it would be Og or just anything. Like, I was just like, okay, let's see where this goes.
Yeah, I was actually starting to get really worried that H or Artemis was going to be like a spy or do something to betray Wade, but I'm so glad that that was not the case.
Yes.
Yeah.
at one point I was convinced H did because there was after Sorrento had like taken him and everything, and then he was like, no, I'm not going to help you, and he blows up his house, and then all the wait, what are what are the people called who worked for Sorrento?
Sixers.
Sixers.
Yeah, the Sixers.
Or
And
the
all the Sixers
Suckers.
like swarmed to the first key. I was like, oh no, they got H, and H told them. I
Yeah.
didn't
I
trust
thought that
the novel.
I thought either H told or Wade was lying to the reader and he told but didn't want to look like bad to the reader. I don't know. That's what was going on in my head. Because I was like, why would they?
That would have been really interesting.
Yeah.
I do have a question that I've
Oh, okay.
put up, that I've had it up for a while, and I could keep getting to respond.
Yeah.
Were you satisfied with the ending?
Yeah. I liked the ending. It was amazing. I mean, a lot of people said that it was corny because it was so romantic or whatever like that, but I don't think it was like too mushy, and I don't think it was like too like, you know, regular. I think it was just right, like a regular good ending.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked the ending, but I thought he was going to shut the whole Oasis game off, and I was like, oh my god, no, don't you dare, like,
Yeah.
but I liked it. It was fine.
Talking about that, like the whole thing shutting the Oasis down, when I was reading it, there was a part where the three of them are about to enter the gate and then they die. And I was worried that as soon as someone enters the gate, the whole game like crashes and it ends. And I was freaking out about that. I was like, no, it can't just end. And then so I was really happy with the ending that did not happen, and that he had a really it actually ended up being like.
No, I was so satisfied with the ending. Like, even just starting from when Og contacts them, like that whole part from there to the end, I was so entertained with. Like, I could not stop reading it, and I was just the way that you know, he gets like the whole immortality, and he's in control of the game, and then him and Artemis get together. I thought everything was wrapped up so perfectly.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
I was really surprised that he just like got away with everything. I was sure that the Sixers and that Sorrento would like catch up to him or something towards the end, but then like Og just sweeps in and saves the day for everybody.
Thank God.
Did anyone know how the coin was gonna play in?
How the what?
The coin, like that he won during the game.
Oh, I was so
In
curious.
my mind. I forgot about it when he used it. When he actually got to use it, I forgot that he even had it.
I was so curious reading it the whole time. I was just like, I know that key's in his pocket, and I know it's going to be important, but I had no idea what would have been that extra life.
Right.
Imagine if he didn't have it, what would have happened?
That would have been the worst. But okay, before Artemis and Wade meet up, Wade was basically the protagonist and the and villain at the same time, like, because he basically was doing the same thing Sorrento was doing, you know, using using other Gunters to find out, like, oh, how can I find the key and stuff like that. Like his relationship with H and the other Gunters, they were kind of like the IOI and the Sixers, like they were like working together to like find out, like, you know, the overall Easter egg. And then, like, Wade, he had, like, selfish reasons for finding the Easter egg until he met Artemis. So, like, the theme of the book club was male protagonist, but he was kind of, like, stagnant in the beginning, becoming a male protagonist.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point.
Yeah.
Um,
What do you think
so
about
was
that?
anyone else like terrified by how like realistic and possible the future like outside of the Oasis in this book was?
Yeah.
Yay.
I think it's so interesting because technology is becoming such an important part of our lives, like even daily. And like I could totally see like everyone going to school just online, like in a video game. Like I could totally see everything happening and everyone being like consumed with a program like the Oasis that like they don't care for where they live, so they're living in just these stacks of trailers. Like I can totally see that happening.
I cannot see the Oasis in the way that Wade first described it, as far as his mom being like a prostitute online. Like that kind of like blew me away. Like, wait, what am I reading? And then to like babysit people online, like that blew my mind. I really was like, wow, this guy is far out. Ernest Cline is really out there. But
All right. This is an interesting one. Okay. Would you like for the Oasis to exist in real life? It's kind of playing on what we about the
I
whole
love
thing.
that.
Yes and no. Yeah. What were you saying, Belle? Sorry.
Yeah, I said I would love the Oasis to be made in real life. Like it will be awesome. Like
Yeah.
you can live like your real life and your Oasis life and everything. And you can order food and they
Yeah,
bring
I
it to your
It's kind of like the internet, but you're like inside the internet, and like
Yeah.
it looks awesome, and you have more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I think it would be awesome if it existed, but if it didn't play the same role that it did in the book, because I feel like that was like the center of their lives. Like that is all that mattered to everyone on the planet, really. And I think it could do a lot for society, but I think that it could also have its negative effects.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree. Like as long as it didn't like take over everyone's lives, but that's
Yeah.
the thing. Like something like this, it most likely would end up doing that, and it's like not something you can control. Like it's each individual person. So, like, yeah. I would love it though. I think it'd be so much fun. Anyone else have anything to add to that?
I'm with you guys. I think in moderation it'd be really cool, but like there was just the theme about how it just sort of took over everyone's lives, and at a certain point Wade was just completely obsessed with it, and it like was his only world. And he was playing for like I forget. He said he was playing for like 48 hours straight or something when he went from one key to the next key, and that's just like insane to me. But I mean, I wouldn't want it to be the extent it was at, because I wouldn't want to have to like socialize with people online and like go out places with people online, because that just takes it to like a whole like too far level for me.
What was the question? I got disconnected again.
Oasis could be a real life thing, like a real life existence.
Yeah. Would you like the Oasis to exist?
Definitely.
Yeah, it'd be good. This one's not really.
All my time there.
Yeah, it'd be dangerous.
Yes.
I think it would be like more dangerous than anything. But then, like, I think about that catfishing thing, and like H was a great scenario of catfishing, but like on a whole other level, like you're voting for this nice, kind person, but then it's really like a criminal who has like a Oasis somewhere, and it's like, wow, I voted for a mastermind instead of a regular guy. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like it would be a lot more dangerous in terms of that, like
Right.
in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how the IOI, like they found everyone's address and stuff. Like it's obviously possible for them to access that information, even though it's supposed to be like secretive. So like that is definitely like you have like if you invest your whole life into it, your whole life is there, so that somebody can access that information, and like you're completely screwed. So like
but, like the whole thing HD, like change gender and name and everything, that was perfect. Like I would do that.
Yeah.
Not like male character, but still.
I was looking in the discussion forum, like on the Goodreads page as well. There was something really interesting that a few people were talking about, which is when his trailer is blown up and, like, you know, everyone dies, including, what's the lady's name that lives underneath him, the really nice old lady that he likes?
Miss
Mr.
something.
Harris. I
Yeah.
think.
A lot of people were, some people were thinking that it was just kind of brushed off a little bit, but someone also said that because he spends so much time in the Oasis, he's not really connected to the real world. So what were your guys' thoughts on that situation?
I'm confused about that.
Okay. What was that?
What was your thoughts about how Wade reacted to blowing up and, like, killing people, including especially the lady that lived underneath him, and how he didn't seem
I
to,
thought
like,
he was like really desensitized. Like he really didn't care about it at all. He was just like,
Yeah.
oh, gotta get back to the game. Like that Easter egg was really all his life.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely doesn't have a good sense of reality. I'm sorry, Belle, you can go.
It's okay.
No, go.
I was saying, like, he was like, oh, they died. Let me go somewhere safe. And yeah, he didn't even care, like, at all.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting how it kind of played out, because, I mean, on one hand, he's like trying to think for himself and he's, like, in serious danger, but at the same time he didn't, even, like, later on when he was in a safe place, we didn't see him reflecting back on it. So, like, yeah, he just seems so, like, out of it in terms of, like, the real world. Like, his whole life really was in the Oasis and everything out of it was just, like,
Wait a second.
didn't have
I
an
think
impact.
plus after like everything he'd been through with his mom dying and was living with an abusive family, I think that also probably desensitized him, and in a way he like couldn't feel bad for what happened to his aunt, but I think he probably should have felt bad for like all the other people who blew up in the stack.
There was a lot of people that would have died, or at least got injured, and or without homes now, or just. And it's
I can understand, like, with the life that he had, why he would want to, like, create a new life in the Oasis, but, like, he definitely did not have a grip on reality, and, like, I don't think he functioned well normally in reality as opposed to the Oasis. Like, he invested all of his time in the Oasis and not enough time in actual real life.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. All right. We've been here for an hour, guys, so I think we'll answer a few more questions, see if we can start wrapping it up in like 15, 20 minutes maybe.
That was quick.
I know.
Wait, what? Actually, hasn't it only been 30 minutes?
Oh my god, yes. I can't believe we started on the hour. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. It's way too early for my brain to be working. We're safe. Okay.
No, I was looking at, like, the YouTube comments and stuff, and, like, it says that we've only been going for 32 minutes, so.
Okay. Okay. Did you have a favorite world or place in the book?
Ag's party was awesome. I love that scene in the book.
That was really
Yeah,
cool.
that was my favorite as well.
Yeah, mine
Like,
too.
float around, be like, no
Oh, and
gravity.
H basement. H basement was awesome.
Yeah, that as well.
Yeah, H's basement was definitely cool. And I kind of like the idea of the whole tomb with the first key, like the whole trek there, and then when they were actually in the tomb and he was fighting the dude at the joust game. I thought that was really cool too.
Yeah.
I just thought the whole thing was really cool.
Yeah, the whole
Like all of the
virtual
places.
world was awesome.
Yeah. Like, obviously we didn't get to experience, like, even a fraction of it because it's so large. So I think there probably would have been some really, really epic planets and places to go. But obviously it was more focused on, like, the quest and, like, trying to find everything.
And also for, like, half of the book, he couldn't really leave the school planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even like he had, like, all of the privileges that he had when he was, like, doing his endorsements and stuff. Like, there's so much more because we only still saw, like, a tiny fraction of it.
That's true. Very true. Right. Oh, this is interesting. Did you guys read about how Klein held a real-life quest during the promotion of the book for a prize? He drove a DeLorean around during the tour too. The film sort of bummed that he didn't have it.
I think I read something about that.
So cool.
I didn't even know it was being into a movie, so obviously I didn't know that he had a own quest, but that's still pretty awesome.
I think I read something where he did say he had like a DeLorean or something like that, and I seen a picture of him down in Mexico with a DeLorean, but it was like an old picture, so I was like, oh wow. But yeah.
This might not make too much sense, but Katrina and I think Dylan too. Did you guys read Endgame: The Calling?
Yes.
And isn't that
I'm
book
reading it now.
Yes. I think there's
like,
yeah.
like
Sorry, what were you saying?
I sort of, what are you saying? I'm sorry.
No, sorry. I don't know. You go.
Like where I'm going out with that, but like while I was thinking of this, I was like thinking of that book and how like there's the sort of like questions and like everything hidden in it, and to sort of win the. I don't know why I made that.
Yeah. No, it's the same sort of thing. Like in the book, there are hidden like there's puzzles and things like that, which obviously in the ARC copies they're not real, so you can't do it. But I think at the end, I think there is a prize, but I think there's a huge like marketing program. For it.
I'm pretty sure the prize is $250,000.
Yeah, it's something ridiculous, and I think like it would like stream live as well at the place or whatever when someone finds it. But I think it was based off of this other book that was a treasure hunt as well called Masquerade, where it was like a £40,000 or something went like 40,000 pounds, but it took 3 years for it to be sold. So like there's a few books out there that are kind of similar to that, which I think is really I think it's so cool.
The puzzles in Endgame are really tricky. Like, I don't understand how anyone's going to solve them.
They're not even the real ones.
Yeah, I know.
And then I think he was saying that he's like getting like, what is it? Like, it just looks ridiculous. I didn't even try to do these ones. It just looks absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, they're taking 3 MIT PhDs to create all the puzzles.
Oh. Okay.
Yes.
Like no one stands a chance of. We have to be like crazy, like all the studying they did in this book to solve the puzzles.
Mhm.
Okay.
My brain. Nah.
No $250,000 for me.
Nope. Yeah, but I think it's really cool how people have done that, like taking a book and kind of like bringing it into real life and reflecting.
Guys,
Yeah.
like, have you heard about Easter eggs like before reading the book?
Yeah. Does anyone here watch Doctor Who? Because that's
Yes.
good.
I have like an Android phone and there are Easter eggs hidden there.
Mm.
Yeah, like I want to show you. Like, look at this. Well.
Yeah. It's
Well,
hard to see.
Like if you press a button like somewhere, it pops up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just think that whole thing is so fun. Oh, damn it. I did have a question to answer, but I accidentally.
Is it if it was made from 30 years of pop culture references? Is that what you're talking about?
In 30 years referencing pop culture from the last decade, which books, movies, and TV shows do you think should be referenced in it?
Harry Potter! Harry Potter!
Oh my god, yes.
Of course! That'd be like the number one.
That's a good one.
I would personally say Doctor Who because that's been on since 1960, so
Yeah.
I definitely think that would deserve a reference, at least one. And also, like, it has to do with the whole sci-fi thing. And I remember seeing people marked it as a sci-fi book on Goodreads. I don't really know what it's actually considered, but I think that would be cool.
Yeah. It's a hard one to pinpoint.
Yeah.
Like, I think for most of us it's probably quite different from, like, anything else we've ever read, so
Yes.
how do I even describe this? Yeah, I don't know, that's a tough one. Trying to think of some like movies and stuff as well that I think deserve a reference.
Oh, is this Scott's question?
Yes.
Yeah. I think the only one I could think of would be Harry Potter, at least.
Yeah.
Like lots of Harry Potter.
Definitely.
If there was no Harry Potter reference, I would stop reading that book.
I know, that's like, that would be fairly disappointing.
Throw it out the window. Yeah.
Um,
I don't. It totally.
I mean, like games played into it a lot. So like, what games? I mean, I'm thinking like Mario or something would play into
Yeah,
the
Mario,
Yeah.
definitely.
Mm,
or like I'm gonna sound super nerdy here for a second, but like Pokemon or something.
Yes.
Like, so long, I think would probably play into it. Um,
Definitely a lot of like the role playing games, like the online ones as well. Like we've mentioned, like Second Life and then RuneScape, something like that would have probably been mentioned because it's quite like sort of similar to that.
Mhm.
Like just taken to the next
Mm.
level.
I'm like not very like into pop culture, so like I feel like there's not much I can say about it. But like everything you guys are saying, I totally understand why you'd say that.
Yeah. I struggle to stay hip with what's happening. So, no. Oh well. Okay. I'm confusing myself with what's happening here. Okay. Ooh. Oh, okay. What world from any TV show, film, or video game would you like to experience via the Oasis? And
Hogwarts.
yeah,
Harry Potter, definitely.
situation would be definitely at the top of my list.
Yes, definitely Harry.
That would be awesome.
Um,
I feel like there's like so many worlds in the Oasis already that like there would definitely be worlds from like Harry Potter, like big like book like series and stuff where like you can like reenact the quests and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
mm.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
that'd be
Like
so
I'm sure
cool.
there'd be like a kind of Hunger Games style one. Like there'd be
Yes.
like there'd be a whole like it'd be a big thing, like big tournament kind of thing happening every so like what H does, probably something like that, but like Hunger Games style.
Yeah, there's like there's already like player versus player zones. Like it could either definitely be like tournaments and stuff.
But just on like cool terrains and like things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that I probably wouldn't do it because I'd be terrified of my avatar.
It's like when you die in Oasis, you die forever. Like you're
You have to create a
gone.
whole new avatar. You can't like save anything in like
Yeah.
a bank anywhere. It's gone, which is kind of scary.
Like then you can give it to like a lower level and then pay them to keep it for you. But like who wants?
It's like, but how do they know who you're gonna be? Like, because you create a whole new avatar.
Yeah.
They could just be like, no. Who are you? Like, talking about?
Personally, I love the Mortal Instrument, so I would want quests that have to do with that book series.
Ooh,
I was
I
just
love
gonna
the
say I'd
martial
totally
instrument.
be like a shadow hunter.
Yeah.
I'd be down to travel around like slaying demons with crazy swords and stuff.
Quests to get the Mortal Cup.
Yes.
That'd be so much fun to experience things that, like, from shows and stuff that you love. You can be like, I can be a part of the world.
Like also just playing into like TV shows that you really like to watch. Like I think to be a character in that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
The thing is
Doctor
that you
Who,
always
yes.
see the character.
That just reminded me of like the one of the last parts of the trial where Wade had to like
Yeah.
reenact the Monty Python movie, and it made me laugh so much when he was doing the King Arthur bit, whereas like with the coconuts, the clip popping behind him, he was just like, what the hell? I'm not on a horse. I love that movie so much. It's so good. I would love to do that because it'd just be well, I'd probably fail at it because I'd be laughing my ass off. It's so much fun to do stuff like that. You could be in like what your favorite character, like making out with like your character crush. Don't even know where to start with who though.
Yeah, exactly. That's the biggest issue.
Okay. Oh! What did you guys think of the POC and LGBT representation of this book?
Oh, that was crazy. I was just like, wow. Like, future world, and you want to bring those issues into the future? Okay. Like, I'm thinking 2044, like, your mom doesn't like you because you're gay? Wow.
I know. Like, obviously there's always going to be people like that, which is unfortunate. Like, it...
I mean, I was really impressed with like the whole egg twist because I'm in a class in college right now called Gendered Technology, and it like I want to like recommend this book to everyone in my class because like that twist plays into like what we're learning about so well. So I thought it was good at least.
It kind of makes me sad that like maybe Ernest Cline actually believes that like these things will still be such an issue in the future, like 40 years into the future, 30 years into the future, that like things aren't going to change and people are still going to be like very prejudiced about that. I mean, there's always going to be people like that, but like that was a huge issue, obviously, that her mom didn't approve. So it's like sad to think that to have that expectation, like that's your first thought when you think that things aren't going to change like that.
I mean, there's always going to be like a couple people who are stuck in the past, but we didn't get to see like a bigger view on what the society of a whole thought about it because just I guess they had other like economy and that kind of stuff things that was going on. But and it's weird to think that it's only 30 years in the future. Like this only happened technically in 30 years.
I know, right?
Like,
I mean, there'll be that generation that like that weren't so open-minded, so they'd still be around in that kind of time. So like, it's scary that it's still kind of like realistic. It's sad that it's realistic, but yeah.
Can I suggest a question that I see on the Q&A? Do you think that you would have been a Gunter if you were in the whole Oasis, like in the quest time?
No.
Not at all. I would not be a Gunter. I would not be a Sixer. I would just be in life. Like, hopefully, I would have finished school and moved off the planet and had fun.
I think I would have been a Gunter at first, and then I would have been one of those people that gave up after a year or so.
Yeah. Probably. I don't know. I feel like if I was like, I probably wouldn't end up being a Gunter because I wouldn't trust anybody enough to like.
Yeah, like be like one of the ones. If you were like, you'd be one of the ones that like don't have the connections with everyone. Like you're on your own.
Yeah. Exactly. Be running solo, but I wouldn't get anywhere.
That's why I say like I probably would have given up. I would have been like.
I was thinking the same thing. I might just be a Gunter because there's no way I'm doing all of that studying to like figure out the clues. Like I'd be SOL without anybody's help in this.
Yeah.
Like I don't have that long an attention span to spend years trying to figure this out.
Yeah. I feel like if I did end up being a Gunter, I'd like try and figure out all the information I could from these people, and if I had any like, if I made any connections, I'd just keep quiet and I'd run.
I would totally mooch off all of the message boards about the other Gunters and what they're finding.
That totally could be hypocritical of me because I'm like, I don't trust anybody, but here I am saying I'm just gonna take on
I'd be that Gunter who showed up after it all went live on the message board to find the next key after like the main people figured it out and found it.
That would be me.
I think I will give it a try. Like, try to be Gunter and see what it turns out. Maybe mislead some people by a blog or something. Like I thought Artemis did.
Yeah, I like Artemis' blog.
I love Artemis.
Anyway, some people actually had some like there was a lot of people when discussing it that had like really very different views on a lot of the characters. Like some people loved Artemis, some people hated them and thought she was quite flat, and then some people hated Wade, and then some people loved Wade or hated him.
I hated Wade. When I started reading from Wade's perspective about who he is and where he came from and all that, I was so annoyed. I'm like, okay, nobody's making you like this person. Like, if you don't want to be that person, don't be that person. Like, nobody's forcing you to be like this lame weirdo. Like, oh my god, this made me mad.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really have any like strong.
Yeah.
Kind of just like he wasn't like a character I really love or anything. Like, it's just kind of like.
Yeah, I'm kind of indifferent to him.
He definitely has his flaws. Like, he's not like a fabulous person to character.
What other character would you rather seen like just follow and like see win the entire game instead then? Like Artemis or Ake or
Oh yes, I would love what's it? Yeah, H. I would love for her to win because she really needed that. Like,
Yeah, no, I agree.
Mhm.
I just always loved H.
yeah,
Yeah.
like before I even knew who she was, like I was just like, oh, that person's so nice. Like they invite you to their basement and you're like a poor
Yeah.
nobody. Like
Yeah, H was just badass, kicking butt in all those, like PvP tournament things and just like being super awesome. So I totally agree there. Okay, if you could create your own planet, what would you put in it? Like, would it be themed or anything like that?
Harry Potter stuff.
Oh, mine would just
Yeah,
totally be like a massive library, like everything, just be like a maze of books.
Yes.
Okay.
Like the Maze Runner, but like with books.
And it, yeah, but without the grievers and everything.
No, no, just books.
that would not.
Just with, like little kittens and puppies. I had little.
I would totally make mine Mortal Instruments themed, obviously, but I would love to, like, if it was like my world, like I would totally make like a lot of quests because that's something I really liked when I was playing RuneScape and games like that.
Yeah.
So,
This made me really want to start playing it again.
oh my god, it's so different now though. Like I try like every like year or so I try it again and it's so different.
Yeah, no, because I started playing it like, I don't even know, like probably like 10 years ago. Something
Yeah,
crazy like
I
that.
played it in 4th grade. And
Yeah,
I graduated high school.
Yeah.
So,
I tried again a few years ago and I was like, this is very strange.
so different.
Is this RuneScape?
Yeah.
in the Oasis, what would your automobile be? Like I would have a TARDIS. I would be able to
Yes, TARDIS.
in time.
100% a TARDIS.
Just anything that could
Yeah.
make me like teleport instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of things would be cool, but it's like still like that waiting time. Like if it was a broom, like that'd be mad. But then like you could fall off the broom and it'd take a while to get places. Even if you were there fast, it'd still take a little while. Something that was instant.
I was totally gonna say like a Hunger Games like hovercraft, the big craft things like
Oh, yeah.
the thing that takes up habits at the end of catching fire. But now I want to go with teleportation because I realized that it wasn't the best idea.
Yeah.
That would definitely be cool. I'm trying to look through the questions.
Yeah. A lot of the ones up the top we've already answered, which is why we've gone back to them, just seeing if there's any interesting ones. I think this one's a good one. Describe the book in one word.
Oh god.
It's a good question, but I'm gonna have to think about it for a little while.
Yeah, I'm like, I had to think about this.
Maybe just like epic. Like that doesn't describe
Yeah,
like much about the book, but just like my response to it.
yeah. This isn't one word, but like I don't know if it says on the front of your covers, but on the front of mine it says Willy Wonka meets the Matrix, and like even though I've never seen the Matrix, I'm like, this is exactly what this book is.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to see the Matrix to know that. Oh no. One word?
I would probably just say fun because it was a lot of fun.
Was.
I think it's very intriguing.
Reread it now.
I still want to reread it.
Just one word. I would need like I don't know, a couple phrases. Like,
Yeah. Is there an audiobook version of this?
Yeah, I listened to the
yeah,
audiobook.
there is.
Oh, okay.
Is it a good audiobook? Because I will listen to it.
I liked it.
It's okay for an audiobook. Like my library has where you can, download the audiobook or just get the book. So I listened to a smidget of it and I was like, oh, this doesn't sound like it'll put me to sleep.
I know it's also when you have that, you just like completely tune out, or it's like the person's voice just.
Mhm.
So okay, that's good. I think I might do that at some point.
I saw one and it said rate the 3 levels from best to worst. Like the levels of the book.
Yeah. Okay. 3-1, no, 3-1-2, 3-2-1.
3-2-1. I don't
3
know.
was definitely the best.
Yeah,
That's
3 was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Three was pretty good. Three was the best.
3-1-2.
I
I'll
think
go for 3-1-2.
I think I'm gonna have to agree 3-1-2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. The
Yeah.
whole
3, 2, 1.
the issue with Artemis happened in 2, right? When she stopped talking to him.
Yeah.
That bugged me a lot, and he
It
was
did
just
a little
so
bit,
he was
yeah.
so unmotivated that I didn't want to read about Wade.
Yeah, it was a
So
little unmotivated.
yeah, definitely 3-1-2.
Yeah, I think because like at the beginning of the book, it started out slow, but I was still really fascinated with everything.
Yeah.
But I didn't like I still enjoyed reading it. But there was this like at the beginning of level 2, I kind of started to lose a little bit of interest just because he was like like you said, really unmotivated and wasn't
Yeah.
really much
Yeah.
himself.
He
So
stopped looking for that last key for the last gate for months.
yeah,
And then
there was one oh sorry, you go. This is off topic.
you sure you could go?
Oh, no. This is off topic. I won't forget it.
Okay, so for 3, I think was 3 right where it started, where he just took up the new identity and was immediately like kidnapped and taken. Is that where 3 started?
I'll skim it because it just.
I
Yeah, I
thought
think
that was-
that is where
Oh, it's
3.
when he gets arrested. Like the
Yeah.
first line is when the IOI corporate police came to arrest me. Yeah, so that's exactly where it starts.
I had no idea what was going on when that happened. I was like, "What are you doing, Wade?"
That's where my reality and the Oasis thing got kind of twisted because I was like, how can they do this? Like, are they the new police? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, that was confusing.
I found his whole escape plan extremely intelligent. Personally, I
I
thought
thought it was cool.
Yeah.
I would have just stayed there. I would have never been able to escape.
I was so surprised that like all worked like flawlessly. I was so thinking someone's gonna catch him. Like he walked out like with a just dead ear that was bleeding like crazy. I was like, someone's gonna say something to him, but he like got away. I have to give him props.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get caught with the lady and the blood dripping and stuff like that, but I was like, you made it this far, why wouldn't you get caught? Like, there's enough book left, so.
This is a good one. Okay, which movie do you know so well that you would be able to reenact it as part of the tasks?
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Harry Potter. Every Harry Potter.
Oh my god, like I used to, when I was in like a really tough class, like my freshman year, and I would watch 4 Harry Potter movies a day while doing my homework. I've seen them like a ridiculous amount of times. I would definitely be able to reenact
Wow. And also Twilight movies.
Twilight, yes.
Yeah, I know
I have
Twilight.
a Twilight movie marathon every month by myself.
I
I love movies.
think I'd have trouble with it because, like, I know some movies really well, but I'm really bad with remembering quotes. And I think the movie that I remember, like, the most quotes from would be Mean Girls.
Yes.
Right.
Mean Girls is
Girls is so
definitely a
easy.
good one.
It's just so good.
I don't think I've actually.
Bruce Almighty.
Yeah.
Have you seen Bruce Almighty? I know that movie. Like,
I've seen that one. I haven't seen it in a long time, but that would be cool.
Has anyone seen The Waterboy or White Chicks?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
The Waterboy with Adam Sandler, like early Adam
That would
Sandler.
be easy.
I feel like I saw like half The Waterboy, but I don't remember anything about it.
Those are the 2 movies that I would be able to say all the lines. Wait,
I have
Dylan, what
White
about
Chicks
you?
movie.
Probably nothing, but if it was going to be something, it would probably be Harry Potter. But I'm just really bad at remembering things,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
so I'd
I'm
just
not
be
good.
terrible at it.
No, Harry Potter is burned into my brain. I know every accent on each word. Like, there's no way I wouldn't make it through that one.
You would get the extra points like he did.
I
in-
would. That's exactly what I'm thinking. I'd be like, I would totally get the extra points. But if it wasn't Harry Potter, I'd probably be like completely lost.
Yeah.
This one's a really interesting question. Did you find it interesting that even though Wade was able to travel to different worlds, was unable to travel to different worlds in the beginning, due to lack of funds, that he still spent so much time in the Oasis?
Yes.
Yeah.
He must
That
have
was-
really,
yeah.
really hated his reality.
Well, no, because that was kind of explained, though, because sometimes he would, like, borrow money and stuff, so.
Yeah.
To ride.
But that was also
like
difficult.
earn enough money to
He'd be
get
stuck
like
there. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it would have been like at some points it still would have been a bit of a struggle. Like he wouldn't have much to do. Like if it was me, I probably would have lost a little bit of interest. But at the same time, like with that period trying to find out about the Easter egg,
Mhm.
and he spent so much time on that, I think that would have been a real motivator.
Yeah. Also, a lot of it, when you think about it, a lot of it, he spent so much time researching that stuff. So, like, while he was at, like, school and stuff, like, he was definitely, like, while he was stuck in that world, a lot of it was definitely spent surfing the web and researching everything. And all the movies and TV shows he watched, like,
Yeah, I don't know
a lot of time.
anything outside of everything that he was like all the games and like movies.
No, honestly, as much as I love the computer, I couldn't live on it.
Yeah. We're gonna say something, Michael?
Oh, I just like straight up wouldn't have had the time to watch like all the TV shows and movies like 100 times over. I don't know how. I guess that's why he was just. Is it in the Oasis that he would watch that stuff though? Is that why he was in the Oasis so much?
Well,
think
no,
so.
we watched most of that in the basement, right?
Yeah, HP.
Yeah, him and H, actually, they did a lot together, so.
And he even catch rides to other planets with H.
Mhm.
And then stuck there until he gets enough money to come back.
Yeah. Still been stuck so like at level 3 or whatever. They've been quite unmotivating.
Hmm.
Let's see. Are there any other questions that you guys have come across that we haven't really talked about?
The one I see, it's all the way at the bottom. What do you expect from the movie adaptation of the book?
Epicness, awesomeness, fun. Like it
Mhm.
it just because I loved it so much. It's like obviously got to do justice, but I think that because a lot of it's done in the Oasis, I think they've got a lot of opportunity to like really make it visually awesome.
I hope they have a large budget for it, because that definitely, they're gonna need one to do the book justice.
Yeah.
I think when they do the movie, they're gonna start like midway in the book, like you know how usually when they remake movies, and I think when they do this movie, when they do Ready Player One, I think they're gonna start with Wade telling his story from the beginning of the book, but only like from the sale of the IOI confinement or whatever, and then it like comes into real time where he escapes and then you're caught out. Like, I think that's how they'll do it. But I don't know. I'm just, like, excited to see it.
One thing I'd actually be really excited for is the preface, because, like, I'd imagine it on screen as, like, you know how, like, say, like, Divergent, like, Triss is explaining the whole world and the war and everything while everyone from the different factions are walking around, but she's, like, having her own little monologue. Like, I expect something like that. Like, I expect to see, like, the little bits of Halliday, like, throughout his life, and, like, then it ending, like, one day there was one name on the scoreboard, and that was mine. Like, I think that would be a very good way to start the movie.
Plus, I feel like the movie, because whenever there's books movie adaptations, they always have to take out certain parts, and I feel like the movie would be able to take out like the parts that were lagging that we all sort of noticed in the novel, where there wasn't sort of any progression towards towards finding a key. He was just sort of like whining about Artemis just leaving him and not talking to him anymore. So I think that. And I'd also think it'd be cool to see how they switch from like real life to Oasis, like what they do,
like the
in
transition.
that switch.
I'm definitely very interested to see how they put the Oasis on screen, because I feel like that's something that everyone definitely will imagine differently. So it'll be very interesting to see.
I think that the world is very well built, like very detailed for them to make the movie. Like, they have like a lot of options to put out there.
I think they'll cut out the piece about his parents. Like, I don't think that was necessary in the book. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that was meant for us to like connect with him more, but I don't think anyone really like had that sympathy for him. I don't know. Maybe just me.
Yeah, I just saw a question, but it like moved somewhere, so I didn't know. It's not really a question, but someone pointed out, I don't know how they're going to avoid copyright issues because there's so many references to...
Oh, that's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like they'll definitely cut a lot of them out, except for the ones that have to do with the quest. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they might skip the, like, just an example, when they go to Halliday's house, like, when he goes and, like, plays that game. Do you know the part I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I feel like something like that they would skip. Or, like, change.
I think with like some of the... Sorry. I was just going to say, I feel like some of them, like, in terms of, like, the games or some of the references, they might, like, base off of what's in the book and, like, kind of recreate it.
That's what I was gonna say too. Yeah.
Yeah, like, they could,
Yeah.
like,
Tweak it a little bit so it's like not exactly like Pac-Man, but like
Yeah.
Pac-Mon
Something
or
to-
something.
yeah, like Pac-Man. Or, like, I know, like, in the If I Stay movie, they changed the name of the band. Like, I guess because there's already a band out there or something, but, like, they could probably change it and just make it seem like it was, like, a fake thing, but they're actually talking about something that was real.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that would probably be, like, the most, like, the easiest way to...
Yeah.
If there are any issues, that's probably the thing that will work the best. But I don't really know everything about how it works.
I don't.
Yeah. At the same time, I don't think it'd be too hard as well because a lot of it was like really niche stuff that like a lot of us hadn't heard about. Like it wasn't the popular 80s stuff, and like I don't know. I feel like it might not be too hard. And then the songs, they can always get like song rights and everything.
Yeah.
I think it'd have a cool soundtrack.
Okay, this is a good one. Would you like Ernest Cline to write a companion novel in which you can see different parts of the Oasis?
Yes. Someone in
Definitely.
the book club's discussion, they were like, "Oh, I wish like we could hear like H's narrative. Like she's so interesting. I really would like to see like how her journey to the Easter egg went from her.
Definitely, because a lot of part of the book she was actually quite absent, like especially during level 2, we don't see too much of her.
With that whole thing with Artemis when they weren't talking, yeah.
Yeah. So I'd like to see a bit of overlap there, but also like a bit of her backstory and like seeing her with like her tournament things, like the PvP things that she does, and she's obviously able to. She's got the ability to go between worlds. She's got the ability to do so. I think there'd be opportunity to see a little more of the world outside of just like the game. I mean, yeah, the game. Sorry, no, not the game. The quest.
My thing is, like, I so want to see more Oasis, but, like, this book was started and wrapped up so perfectly, and, like, you can't do a prequel and, like, a sequel. What are you going to do with a sequel? And if you just go through another Gunters story, it's going to be very repetitive. So, it would be difficult to write it, but I would definitely want to see more of the worlds of Oasis.
I would like to see Halliday's story. Like, everybody is so pumped up about it, and I would like to see a book about Halliday's, how he created him and Og.
Him and Og's story would be very interesting.
Yeah, from Og.
It'd be very interesting.
Dylan's just tweeted me saying his internet's completely cut out, so he's not able to rejoin. So he says bye-bye.
Oh, no.
Poor thing, damn internet. Okay. Okay, I'm just going through the questions, and because some of you guys have pointed them out, so I'm just gonna understand what I'm doing here.
I'm looking on the YouTube just in case anyone posted a question that we've missed. I've been checking it like sporadically through the whole thing, so.
Yeah.
Here's one. Like, what do you think about Artemis and Parsifal's romance?
We haven't talked about our actual thoughts about their relationship.
What?
Like we haven't, like we've talked about them like indirectly, but we haven't talked about like how we feel about their actual relationship.
Yeah.
Well, like, I really like Artemis as an okay character. I really hated Wade at the beginning, but because Artemis kind of steered him into his character development, I really started to like her a lot more.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting romance, obviously, because it's done online and you don't really know the person. Because you can hide things from people, you can tell them, show them sides of you and hide others. So I thought it was quite interesting. Like, I thought it was quite realistic because, like, you know, the whole catfishing thing, like, it's a thing. But yeah, I think it did work with the story. However, because obviously the part where in level 2 where she breaks it off, kind of thing, that really did drag a little bit. But overall, I thought it was like, because it wasn't like ridiculous, like
Yeah.
the story kind of thing. Although it did like kind of.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely had a really bad case of insta-love, which pissed me off. I didn't like how, like, I understand that he was following her for such a long time, but, like, as soon as they started hanging out, he's like, I'm in love with you. And, like, I get that he obviously doesn't have good social skills, but still.
I mean, it sort of skipped through all the parts where they sort of got to know each other better.
Yeah.
Technically, they didn't get to know each other because they're both strangers. They could have been whoever.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, they had all the stuff to bond over, and they bonded over it, but it would just mention, like, a paragraph where it's like, and we talked about all this different stuff we both know about, so we didn't really get to see them bond and become, like, sort of relationship zone, but I guess that would have dragged on the story. I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it would have been a difficult thing to kind of find the balance about, because it did skip everything. And, like, that whole development of their relationship, like when he was talking about them hanging out, it like was done quite quickly and concisely. But at the same time, if it went into a lot of detail about them bonding, it would have really dragged
A lot of overlap the entire story.
But the way they connected Wade with not Day 2, but the other guy. What's his name? The brother,
Shoto and
Shoto. Yeah, the way Shoto and Wade connected just off of Dato's death, I was like, oh, this is amazing. This is real. This is a relationship. Yeah. I see that. Like, you know,
I love that.
whereas Artemis, like, we didn't really hear too much about it, but when they had that heart-to-heart, Wade and Shoto, it was kind of like, okay, now I understand why you guys are okay with each other, like, really close, because you care.
Personally, I was really surprised to find out that they weren't actually brothers. Like, they were just like, they just knew each other. I don't know. I found that really interesting.
Yeah, I didn't like Artemis and Percival relationship because I was like, okay, now you're obsessed with her. Focus on the quest. Focus on the quest.
Yeah.
I personally liked how protective she was about her actual identity. Like, when he saw the picture of her, she got, like, really upset about it because she didn't think that, like, she was beautiful or anything. And he was like, she kept saying, like, I look nothing like my avatar, but he was just like, she looks exactly the same, except she has a big birthmark on her face. And, like, I don't know, I kind of like that whole aspect of it, how she was, like, trying to hide herself, but we didn't care about that. I thought that was very cute.
I definitely would have been freaked out if I was in her position and someone like showed me my file with all of my information. I'm like, what the actual F? Like, I definitely understand where she came from. Like, I would have been freaking out, especially if I was really adamant on keeping my identity hidden. Like, I understand why he did it, like, to try and save life, but still, I would have been like, excuse me, what do you think you're doing? All right. I think we'll probably end up wrapping this up pretty soon because I know, Emma, you've got your live show starting.
Yeah, I have another one.
Yeah, is it starting on the hour?
No, it's at 7:30. So
okay. So
whenever. Well, the next hour 30. I know everyone's in different time zones.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we'll probably wrap this up in like 15 minutes. So if you've got any more questions that you'd like us to answer, let us know.
I found one. I don't know why I can't find it anymore.
I know, because when people like up them or whatever they do. Well, someone said, did you know that Disney uses Easter eggs all the time? No, I did not.
I feel like I've heard that.
Yeah, I heard about that. Like, in their movies, they have, like, little references to other movies
to other movies? Oh, I know about that.
In Frozen, there's in Frozen, Rapunzel's in it. I know that.
Yeah. Is it, like, in any of the other ones, though? Because,
there's definitely, more things like that. Like, I remember, I don't know why, you know those nights when, like, you're just on YouTube and, like, you end up on a different video than, like, that's completely unrelated to what you started with. When I was watching, like, Disney references to, like, each thing, and, like, there were, like, these characters in this place, or, like, there's, like, the Nemo fish tank in one of the other, movies. I don't know which one, but, like, yeah, they definitely do that a lot.
Oh, I can't remember which one it was, but I was watching, like in Aladdin, you know, with Genie, he, like, morphs into a lot of other characters that like that are in different movies. Yeah, I noticed that part.
Especially with I know I've seen a couple that are like with like bookshelves that have like knickknacks on them. A lot of them are like Disney related things that have been in like already things. Like I know, and this has nothing to do with it, but I know in the Rugrats they have Daleks from Doctor Who like in one of the shelves on a toy store. Yeah,
Oh, that's so cool.
it's a thing. But yeah, I always appreciate those things like that.
No, I think there's actually like a page too I saw recently on Twitter or something where it literally goes through every single like Disney Easter egg they have in another Disney movie.
There's definitely accounts there and stuff.
Yeah.
I see when that's like. Oh no, you go.
No, it's a question. It says,
No, you can go.
What were your favorite characters?
I think we talked about this one right at the beginning. But I think, yeah, mine probably H. I just loved H.
Yeah, H. I personally like her a lot. And
Shadow.
Yeah.
I see. Where did it go? This is obnoxious. Hold on.
Okay, this is gonna be really embarrassing. Oh, go.
No, go.
No, I'm just trying to say I have no idea where to look for comments. I don't know where they are.
On the YouTube page, there's a few, but I feel like we've answered them.
Okay. I don't know how to find them in the Hangout thing, but go with your question. I'm just really dumb.
Click the Q&A up. It says, what scenes would you keep for the film, or like we could talk about like what scenes we hope they keep, or like what they could like get rid of, or did we already talk about that?
Yeah, we kind of hit that one today.
They just better keep when Og knocks the thing down on the table and they think it's a glitch. If they screw that up, I'll be really upset.
Yeah.
It's like it's so minuscule at the time, but it's so important.
And I want to see when he first found the first key, like I want to see him play against the giant joust thing, but then I also want to see her put up the block so he can't leave. I want to see like their first to like talk with each other and all of that.
I think in the outside world, I want to see that moment where he like hears the explosion and he like runs out of the van and sees the smoking pile of just like destroyed stacked trailers. I think that'd be really cool. That'd be like the one scene outside of the Oasis that I actually enjoyed.
I would like to see when he went to the IOI.
Oh, that's
like
Yeah, they definitely have to keep that in. One thing that I was just, with the part, like, with Artemis and Wade meeting for the first time, I just have a feeling that they probably, like, skip out on some of, like, the Artemis parts, like the fact that she had a blog and that he had, like, a massive kind of, like, fangirl crush on her. Sort of thing. I feel like they might skip over that a little bit, which would kind of take away from it a bit.
That's definitely something I can see them skipping over, but that also takes so much away from their relationship because, like, then it's like if they take that away and they just meet, then it's complete insta-love, and that's gonna make at least me very angry because months. But one thing I also hope they include is like I don't know how they'd exactly do it on the screen, but I hope they like focus like kind of on the scoreboard. Like I hope they like show the like scoreboard as a screen like when everyone like is like piling in afterwards. Like I don't know. I hope.
Ding, 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 adding.
Yes, like that. Like, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to have, like, I think someone said before, actually see it from, like, first person, like, what Wade or what Parzival is seeing while he's playing the game. I think that'd be cool. Not the whole time, because then that's just going to get really annoying, but for, like, short periods of time when crazy stuff is happening, to, like, see the scoreboard in the corner, like, see the ability to, like, teleport someone else or something.
They kind of replicate what the people see when they're looking at the Oasis, so it kind of looks like we're immersed in it as well.
Yeah, like
awesome if they make the movie into like 3D, so you can really experience.
Oh yes, yes! I think that would be awesome.
Because I'm just thinking about like when it was coming down to that final like key, and all the IOI was everywhere, and then you had all the Gunters coming, and I was just like, oh man, I would love to see that.
The battle is going to be epic. It has to be. Like that whole.
I'm really glad by how epic it ended up being like the scale of like how intense things were. Because when I went into the book, I didn't expect so much like
No.
crazy stuff to happen outside of the Oasis, but then that final battle scene was just like epic as well.
It was. It was.
I had so many different expectations for this book, but like I completely like I'm so glad that my actual expectations didn't happen. Like I'm so glad the book played out exactly the way it did.
Yeah, I was just really happy with it. Like, yeah. Definitely.
No, I was so surprised with it. Like a lot of people from like my town, like they don't read a lot, but like a lot of people when like because I'm a Goodreads connect to my Facebook, they were just like that book was so good, like it was amazing, and I'm just like I think it's like a universally good book. Like I don't think like it's like gender specific or like you have to be like interested in a certain thing to like it. Like I think it's just interesting.
Yeah, no,
Right.
definitely. Like after I've read it, like everyone that I've been talking to, I've been talking about this book to everyone, just being like, I think you should read it because just I think that so many people could really appreciate it and enjoy it. It's just so much fun. So
Yeah, like I think two of my friends on Goodreads read the book before I read it, and I was just like, they read sketchy books sometimes, like
Yeah.
but it actually turned out to be really good. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe I should get into this like fantasy, dystopian, utopia type stuff, like just this unrealistic world stuff. But yeah.
What is the genre actually considered? Because I actually don't know.
I'm not,
Sci-fi?
yeah, it'd be kind of sci-fi, kind of dystopian-ish.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Like I saw that it was like labeled sci-fi, but I'm just like it's involved in like a dystopian world. So like I don't know. I find it very interesting to see the two of them together because they definitely like interact. They definitely interact well together.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting as well because it just is so realistic. Like a lot of the dystopian worlds, they're a little slightly out there. Like I guess they could possibly happen if like things get real crazy, but this one's just so realistic. It's just like I don't know how to describe it.
When it came to nominating the book for the book club, there was like 5 different books to actually vote on, and it was actually like a toss-up for me out of 3 books, and that was this book, the Mr. Penumbra's
Yeah.
bookstore, and then there was one more, I forget, with the hand. What was that?
Extremely loud and incredibly close.
Right. Yeah, and I was just like, oh, I can't wait. I want one of these 3 to win. And I voted on Penumbra, but then when this one won, I'm like, it's still awesome. I can't wait.
But personally, I didn't vote for Ready Player One. I voted for Fight Club because I love Fight Club. But like, I am like very very happy that we chose this because I probably wouldn't have picked this up at least for a very long time if we didn't pick this book for this one.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, because all of the books that were chosen, I think I discussed them with Dylan, so like all of them I was really excited about, but I was the most excited about Mr. Penumbra's or Ready Player One, so I'm really happy with that. But I've already read Fight Club as well, so.
Oh, I love Fight Club.
I mean, I think this is really good because isn't it technically like an adult novel? It's not considered YA, but it has like all of the YA things, so it's sort of like a for everyone book.
Yeah, it's a scientific
I thought was really cool.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's like it kind of like caters to a lot of different kind of age groups, people with different interests and genres. So I think it's one that like a lot of people can enjoy. And I haven't heard like anything really negative. Like even in the discussions, a lot of people are saying like even talking about some of the flaws or things they didn't like. Overall, people still really enjoyed the book. So that was really awesome to see. Did anyone not like the book?
No, I don't think anybody gave it a 1.
I loved it. I mean, I haven't seen whatever, like, I didn't see anyone else's ratings from the group, but I think everyone had to, like, enjoy it in some way. I don't think it was a drag at all.
Yeah, no. And in the question, someone wrote about how like Doctor Who was mentioned. He was mentioned at the party, Ox party.
I'm remembering it. Yeah, I saw it before.
And like a number of other things were mentioned there too. But it was still like, okay, you know, there could have been more emphasis on certain things. Like,
Yeah, I didn't really pick up on it because
Yeah.
I keep telling myself I need to start watching some Doctor Who, but
Yeah.
just like getting around to it.
Yeah, when you were talking about like your planet, like is the library, like there's an episode of Doctor Who where there's literally a planet that's a library and somebody comes
and the shadows cover everything and they're eating people alive. I love that episode.
I feel so left out because I'm like the only one on my floor in college who doesn't watch Doctor Who.
Oh.
So everyone
Me
like,
neither.
talks about it all the time.
Doctor Who.
I have like this one friend who is like TARDIS everything, and like I know what that is now at least, but like I miss out on all the references.
Well, you are missing out. I'll tell you that. It is.
And I read another book too that had a bunch of Doctor Who references, and it's like everywhere now.
But, yeah, I'm glad we read the book. Well, I'm glad I read the book with the book club because I wouldn't have read it any other way.
I absolutely agree. Like I've seen like people picking it up and stuff, and I thought the idea for it. Well, I actually didn't know the idea for it when I got it, but like I saw people on BookTube talking about it, and I was like really interested to see what it was about. But I specifically bought it for the book club, so that was definitely a good way for me to actually read it.
No, I think a lot of people like that as well. They'll kind of like. I think some people were quite iffy about it after reading the synopsis. They're kind of just like, meh. But
Yeah.
I think for the most part, people were quite pleasantly surprised. So I'm really glad that. Yeah, I'm so happy that it was chosen for it because I'm so glad that I finally read it. I was meant to read it for like another book club like a year or two ago, but I didn't get around to doing it. So. Yeah.
I just have a question. You know how in the preface I said it before how like it ends and he's like one name popped up on the scoreboard and that was me. Am I the only one that thought that like it started off telling us that he won?
I was considering the same thing. I was like, we kind of missed out because it's already telling us how this all works out.
Yeah.
But then like, I realized as we got to the jade or the whatever the color the first key was or whatever the first key was made of, that it was just that he got the first key.
Yeah. No, because I
The
just.
copper key. I think the copper key was the first.
Because I just read The Book Thief before it, so I was kind of used to like reading about a book that spoils itself. So I was just like, really another one of these. But no, I'm definitely glad it didn't start off with it.
Yeah.
Really?
I think I don't know why because I read the preface and obviously it says that he found the first key. Then when I started reading, going into like chapter 1, I kind of assumed that had already happened. I didn't realize it had gone back in time and it was telling how. It confused me for a little bit. I'm like, why is all this happening? Like, doesn't he already have it? Like, what? Yeah, I felt a bit dumb after that because I'm like, obviously it's going to tell us how it happened.
I have a question. How did you guys feel about like the 5 of them, like the main 5 characters, like getting all of those like endorsements and stuff, like from just getting the first key?
Well, like, at first I thought it was kind of shady because I was like, wait, the IOI is after Wade, and he's like, you know, nobody compared to these guys. So I'm like, okay, H and Artemis and Shoto Dito, like, who are you people? Like, do you work for Sorrento? Like, what's going on? But gotta explain himself.
I was like afraid it was really gonna get to his head that like he had all this money now, and it kind of did.
I was worried about that as well. Like, I'm glad, like, it obviously enabled him to kind of, like, escape and things like that, and provide for himself, and go into hiding. But, yeah, when it first started happening, and it was, like, it went through and he was responding to, like, all the endorsement, like, emails and stuff, I'm like, oh my god, I hope this doesn't, like, come around and bite his ass.
I mean, I thought it was a little sketchy that he had like just enough money to get along off of these endorsements off of his own like TV show and everything. But I mean, I think it's realistic because that's something that like the entire world has been like knowing about for so long. So I thought it was a good inclusion.
I just find it so weird that like this is I just found it so weird that like he was getting like all of these endorsements and stuff from just getting the first key. Like it was such a like I get that it was such a big deal, but like felt like the hype would have like come down a bit after like 5 years of nobody doing anything and like started up again and it was like crazy. Like I did not expect like it to have that huge of an effect after it was there for so long.
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah, very good.
No, you go. Okay, I'm done talking. You go.
Oh, I was just gonna say I expected like the endorsers like actually during especially level 2. That some of that would have kind of died down as well, but he still seemed to get a because like it had been several months and things were kind of like meh, and then eventually after some of the 6s started getting a little further in the game.
Yeah.
It doesn't really explain it, but I thought that it would have like slowed down after a few months at least.
I see a question about outside of the Oasis, do you think like that future where everyone has to live in like this one city, otherwise everywhere else is just sort of destroyed, and you have to live in these stacks of home, and the economy is horrible? Like, do you think that's possible? And like, what do you think about that part of it?
No, I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't think to that extent it'll be like as bad.
I mean, I've personally thought that was like thinking about a future like that was completely terrifying.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Like I took a second to actually like, consider living in his situation, and I was like crapping my pants, like thinking about that future.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think they also mentioned like the lack of resources they need or something. So I think like parts of it are possible, but I don't think anyone would end up living in like a stack of trailers. I don't see how that would work.
I hope
Like,
not.
would they
That'd be
crush each other
terrifying.
or something? I don't know.
No, like I remember, like I looked on the, like I personally, I just liked this cover as opposed to the hardcover, and that's why I bought it. And it wasn't until I was like at least like 100 pages in that I realized it was the stacks, and like I completely imagined them differently, and it was just like the cover is Wade like climbing down from the stack, and I'm just like, this is not what I imagined. That is horrible. That this is what people live in.
Right.
Honestly, there was so much wrong with that world. Like, if I remember correctly, he was like, there was war and famine and disease, and I'm just like, no wonder all these people turned to their this video game.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, because I've got the same cover as well, but whenever I looked at it before starting reading it, I never really paid much attention to what it was. Like I hadn't looked at it in any detail, so I never actually realized it was trailers. And yeah, it took me a while to like
Yeah.
I finally looked at the cover. I'm like, oh, it makes sense now. That's what these crazy things are. I was like, what are they? But,
I'm just taking a good look at it now and realizing that it's okay, a little late.
I kind of imagined them without like the kind of like fire escapes and ladders and stuff. So I thought it was just like literally trailers on top of each other. I'm just like, how did these people leave their houses? But this
I think, I think he just snuck out. That's why the Sixers thought he was still inside. Why they blew it up? Like he didn't take the main exits out of it. So I think there would have been something similar to that, but it didn't really explain it at all. So I wasn't sure how to imagine it. All right. Does anyone have any last things they want to say about this? Because I think we're going to wrap it up about here.
It's just epic.
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally love the book, and I'm so glad we chose this book.
Yeah.
Right. The book was definitely a great book. I gave it a high rating compared to other books that I've read. And I just hope Little Book Owl stays with it and we keep getting good reads.
And that's why I hope so too. I want to keep this going, so yeah, it's awesome that we had such like a great start to it in terms of that like everyone seems to really enjoy. So yeah, thank you everyone for voting for it as well, and thank you everyone who's hosting with me. Thank you for volunteering, and I'm glad that you guys are here. We had a really nice discussion.
For inviting us, and thank you for everyone that
Thank
asked
you for the opportunity.
Yeah. And everyone for asking your questions and everything. Thanks for coming to the live show and watching with us. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, see you guys next month when we talk about Obsidian sometime. I haven't set a date. We'll figure that out. All right, I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Wait, do we?